you look good. He goes, I don't know how to say this in like a non-weird way, but he's like, you look good. I'm like, thanks, mate.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I think it's starting
Oh,
to,
nice.
grow and mature and, age, which is a good thing.
I'm aging. Yeah. I think so. I think aging is a good thing.
How young are you now? How old are you now?
20.
When are you 21?
God, this bloke doesn't look at his Facebook event invitations, does he?
September, right?
No.
Okay, this time it's bad. When is it again? I'm going to remember. This is the last time.
I'm 11 days after you, I think. Or like 10 days after you.
28th of April.
Yes.
Oh, am I invited to? Are you doing anything? 21st?
Once again, this bloke doesn't look at his Facebook invitation events.
How are you sending Facebook invitations to me? I'm supposed to be the old washed one.
Yeah, but Facebook events are like people. So that's like the best way of doing it.
No, why don't you just send a calendar invite?
Send a calendar invite to 150 people.
You're 21. I'm 33. Sorry, you're 20. I'm 33, and you're sending me Facebook invites to your birthday. It's supposed to be the other way around.
No, but so obviously there's a big proportion of the wedding will be family. So that's mum and dad's sort of like messaging the aunties and the uncles and the second cousins who I see twice every 4 years, which are obviously coming. And then all like my mates and my cousins, like all that stuff, that goes through Facebook. How am I going to send a calendar invite with like, how would that work?
So you're having a 21st and you've invited me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, imagine I said, no, you're not invited. And I broke it.
Well, I wouldn't have known your birthday.
True. Very good point. But yeah.
Oh, well, God. Where are you having it? Or should we not disclose that while we're live on stream?
Yeah. That's confidential.
We can take it offline?
Yeah, we'll take it offline.
Hello, Eleanor. Your birthday is in 2 days. Oh. Happy birthday for 2 days' time. I'm on the 18th. Good Friday this year.
Yes, I did notice that.
There's a bit of symbolism and this and that and the uprising.
The resurrection, yes.
Resurrection, yeah.
Yeah, you get to watch Carlton North on your birthday. Wow. Wow. Yeah, see? Thank you.
Ooh. Hey, what do we think of these? Oh, I think, what do we like? Ooh. Yeah, I think we like it like that.
Interesting. That's very Facebook coded, ironically.
What if I change the color? Oh, there we go. Got a bit of blue to it. Cool. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Biased Footy Show. We're live here. It is Wednesday, the 9th of April, 2025. I'm here with Ari. We're here talking about his 21st birthday, which is coming up very soon. And we're here to talk about the footy, not just Carlton, probably with the Carlton lens. We might spend more time on the Carlton game than the others. But, Ari, good to be back. Apologies about last week. I couldn't make it.
That's okay. I just wanted to be on the record that it was Terry that couldn't make it.
100% it was on me. I am accountable for why the show didn't happen last week.
Fair enough. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And, sometimes things happen. And, I chose... Well, we know what happened. I went to the MCG to film when we would usually have pre-recorded the show.
Maybe why can't we do this from the MCG one week?
We can do this from the MCG 1 week.
You've got connections. No, I'm talking like in the ground.
I don't have connections for doing it inside the MCG. It's not owned by the AFL. It's owned by the government.
You lie.
I don't. Marvel Stadium, however, is owned by the AFL. So,
okay, well,
why don't we do this show for 12 months before we start talking about filming it inside a stadium?
Okay, maybe probably cool.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, quite a bit to get through, if you ask me.
I know it's been a while since we've spoken. How are you? Just quietly before we start.
How am I?
I mean, the obvious aside. The obvious.
It's not a joyful time to be a Carlton supporter.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Every time the conversation comes up, no matter who the conversation's with, it's just stressful. It's sad. It's frustrating, and I have a lot of conversations, not just on camera, but also off camera, and it is a bit much. Like, it's a lot, but also, this is the job now. This is what I've signed up for, and this is what it is. So, yeah, there's not a lot of joy coming out of it at the moment.
No, and as someone who's a avid kind of media consumer, everything, radio, TV, podcasts, every time the current conversation comes up, which is quite often, unfortunately, now these days, it's almost like a kind of, you brace for contact and you just try and get through it, and then you kind of are allowed to move on, whereas that's not a good way to live your life at 9:05 on a Monday morning when you're just trying to drive to work and Waitley's just ripping into your team. It's just not. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand people. I mean, as people enjoy the honesty and the brutal assessment, and I've done that, but I mean, it's kind of getting to this point where almost I'm not going to like think about trying to just be positive for the sake of it, but it's kind of getting to that point where got to find a joy in it somehow. Like, it's like a circuit break is needed. It's hard to explain. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. I think we'll touch on that when we get to our game, but I think a win this week is obviously important for the season and whatever's left of it, but I think for the fan base, it's important so that when the conversations arise midweek, or when you flick on agenda setters or you listen to Waitley in the morning, instead of it being completely and utterly doomsday, it's, hey, at least Carlton were a little bit better. They finally got a win, and then they move on quickly, sort of thing. At least the tone of the discourse is slightly better for a week, and we can enjoy that week should we get the job done.
Yep. Now we're going to get to Carlton, no doubt. But what we are also going to do, we need to recap. Like, where are we at? Tips, numbers. What does it look like? What happened last week?
I had pretty pox week last week, if I may say so myself. If I'm holding myself to my high standards, lofty standards, I think is the correct turn of phrase. I got in round 5 or round 4.
What about back? Yeah, go back to round 4.
Yeah, going back to round 4, I got 3 tips wrong.
Oof, 3 tips wrong.
Yes, 3 tips wrong. Yes, so that's 8 games. So 5 from me.
Okay, and then what did you get in round 5? Sorry, round 4.
That was round 4. Oh, you mean round 3?
Wait, we didn't do a show last week.
Yeah, so we missed it recapping round 3. Yes. Yeah.
4, 5, 6. I got 7 that week.
Round 3, I got 6.
Nice.
And round 4, I got 5.
I should probably like give an update as to the Blue Broad tipping competition. I think that would be the right thing to do.
Probably.
Where are you ranked in the Blue Broad tipping competition?
That's a great question. Okay, God, how do you check competitions? Here we go. I'm 111th. 111.
Oh, I am 189th out of 268.
Well,
so the person on top right now, well, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 people on 29. Methodical Flame is first, followed by Liv, followed by Hawk in the Hat, followed by Cripper09. I think 2 of those 4 are not Carlton supporters, so that's nice.
Yeah. What more can you do?
Well, tip better.
Sure, good point. I see in the comments why does Ari have Voss's tactical plan pinned up behind him. I'm assuming he means this. This is actually I'm very glad I can indulge in this. That is actually the kind of positional set of Didier Drogba's equaliser in the 2012 Champions League final against Bayern Munich, with the commentary on top, and then below it here is the kind of teletext kind of summary of that game. Two of my favourite bits of, what would you call it? What would you call these? Prints?
I would call them prints, yeah.
Yeah, two of my favourite prints I've got. Do need to update this though. It's been a while.
Yeah. This is interesting. Cowan, Moyer, Lord Young out. Harry, Carroll, Cotters and Durden in. Doc will be the sub. Jay Baggers, is this male?
Surely not.
This is
male. We're getting whole teams leaked the day before.
Wow.
Would be surprised.
Anyway. Rocco, your daughter is Liv. Well, she's killing it. Well done to her. Well done to her. Look, let's begin. Let's go through game by game. We'll circle back to Carlton when we get to Saturday. But let's start with tomorrow night. It's a cracking matchup, no?
It's a belter. It's an absolute belter. Really looking forward to this one. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, well, I mean, do we want to speak on the Crows Suns game now? Did you watch that game?
I did not.
I didn't either, but I obviously saw the last kind of 5 minutes and read up on the game. Apparently, it was one of the games of the season so far, which doesn't really come to much surprise because of the offensive flair of both of those sides. Obviously, it ended in a little bit of drama, both with a questionable umpiring decision, depending on who you're asking as well. So a bit of handbags after the game. I guess while we're touching on it, is it a free kick to Rankin or is it a mark or?
Probably a free kick, yeah.
Yeah, probably tend to agree free kick. So that's the fourth time in 18 months that the AFL have gotten a last minute decision against the Crows wrong, which I think is quite funny. Probably not if you're a Crow supporter, but yeah, it's interesting how it's always fallen on the wrong side for them. But I think the Crows can still hold their head up high after that game because I think that game proved more that the Suns are going to be really good this year as opposed to Adelaide having a bit more fallibilities in their game. Obviously, that three-pronged attack still dominated. Thilthorpe kicked 5. I think Tex got a couple on the board, so did Fogarty. So, yeah, this is going to be a really good game. This is going to be a really good game.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what I was doing. It was the first game on the Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was at local footy.
Oh, I was at a mate's place. After tennis.
Mate's place.
Yeah, no, I was at a mate's place in the sauna along the beach after tennis, and we didn't watch the footy. And like usually the first game on a Saturday, like you can miss it, and it's generally you're not really missing out on much. Like it just so happens the first game of the the season that I missed, that is on a Saturday, the first game up, it was a cracker. So whatever.
Well,
I don't think it does any dent in the confidence of either team or like the losing team at all. Like, I mean, Adelaide are still the real deal.
Yeah, no, I definitely tend to agree. I totally agree. I thought you could just you could tell obviously they had that kind of feeling of it being a close game beforehand, and having it come down to a point kind of shows emblematic of that. The individual performances though by the Crows are still there, which is good to see because they're a team that really uses that flair. I mean, their forward line on paper with Walker, Thilthorpe, Fogarty, Keys, Rankin, Neil Bullen is like really good. Borderline best in the comp, or like definitely up there, I feel.
Did you see this coming from the Crows last year?
Yes. So I had the Crows 5th last year.
Okay.
And I think I horrendously overrated their defense at that time. Because whilst I don't think maybe personnel-wise they've changed from last year to this, obviously structure and game plan and development and cohesion obviously has changed. So we saw glimpses of it last year, especially late on. Their win against Essendon was quite good. The game against Collingwood last year had signs of showing a pretty good team. But this year it seems to have clicked. I know we're only 4 games in, but it seems to have clicked, I think.
Who are you tipping?
I think I tipped the Crows. I literally just did my tips with my friends about it twice. So yeah, I tipped the Crows. I just think opening gather round, it's giving. It might not be the same margin, but it's giving opening and gather round 2023 when we rolled in and got absolutely rolled. It might not be that bad of a margin. Obviously, the Cats probably better than us, better than what we were at that time. But yeah, it's going to be a cracker of a game for sure.
Yeah. Then we get to Friday, 7:40 p.m. back at Adelaide Oval. Collingwood, Sydney. The Pies beat the Blues last week. and then got a bit of an injury bug this week. DeGoey, Schultz, Houston out.
Yeah, Houston with a suspension after that bump.
Yep. Which not one Carlton player remonstrated against, but we'll get to Carlton. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
They're coming. And then you got Sydney, who were and are already depleted, but they're just getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I put here Heaney, like last week they dispatched of North quite comfortably, which was a pretty interesting sight. So, and they did that with Chad Warner being subbed out 3/4 time with I think 13 touches and 2 goals to be fair, but didn't really have a whole lot of the ball. And Isaac Heaney under 20 touches as well. Couple that with no Errol, and they're still finding ways to decimate teams. It's a pretty good sign. And we'll touch on the Dogs as well, who are racking up wins without some of their guns playing well or even in the side at all. That can only be a good thing, right?
It's pretty interesting watching and talking about teams in the competition who have got either injury concerns or players who are not available from their best team and just still finding a way to win and not have excuses. It's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, no, for sure. I also think when teams are able to poach someone like Riley Bice out of Werribee, was playing for, I don't even know where. I think he might Swan Hill. I might be totally off with that, but was playing regional footy 2 years ago. Played in the VFL last year, won a VFL flag, if I'm not mistaken, and now is just slotted into that Sydney team with his precision kicking, his cool and composed nature on the ball. It takes good scouting and a good club to identify those type of players and get them going straight away, especially in the absence of a talent like Errol Goulden, who is probably the player that they build their team around.
Yeah. This is tough. I don't know how. I think the Swans, but I don't know.
Well, the Swans have won 5 out of the last 6 against the Pies, including that big win against them last year, early on in the year. So obviously the Swans know Papley. He's still out. So they found 4 goals out of Amadi last week, and they find 4 from him again this week. Who knows? I've gone the Swans. I just trust them a little bit more right now. Still,
yeah. I don't know if Carlton gave Collingwood an actual test that can be stacked up against.
Well, in the first half, it was pretty competitive, pretty scrappy, and I think Carlton lack the outside movers that the Swans have.
Yes, clearly.
Interesting comment there from Rocco. Why can't we ever pick up a Riley Bice? Funny that you bring that up. Are you aware of what pick Riley Bice was taken in the draft?
Sorry, say that again.
Are you aware of what pick Riley Bice was taken in the draft?
I'm not.
It was 1 pick after Carlton selected Harry O'Farrell. So obviously, this is not a shot on Harry O'Farrell because he's not played a game, but it's
I do think though we had this chat with Pommy on the ratings. Like if you talk about the need for another centre half forward, we have moved players who were not a defender into defence to be a centre half forward. You know, McGovern. We're bringing in Haynes. I think Harry O'Farrell had to be selected because we had to invest in one. So
no, I totally agree. Yeah,
Riley Bice had a great game, but I mean, it's been years since we actually went and got a proper centre half back.
Yeah, totally agree. It's just it's just interesting because of the needs Carlton need right this second, as opposed to what we potentially needed in the off season. Yeah,
it's just one of those ones.
Yes, one of those ones. I'm tipping the Swans. Did you say you were going to tip last game?
I said I'm going to tip the Crows, and
I
am going to tip the Swans. Yeah,
nice.
Then we get to Saturday, 12:35 p.m. Barossa Park, North Melbourne. Your boys versus Gold Coast. My boys. If Carlton lose this week, this is going to become Gold Coast abroad.
Are you going to buy the merch?
Absolutely.
The pink hoodie, the pink Guernsey itself is hot. The pink hoodie.
GCA. It just rolls off the tongue.
GCA. Gold Coast abroad, nice. I made the thought that I've had recently is that obviously we'll touch on the other side of the coin of the ending of that Suns Crows game in a minute, I'm sure. But the Suns have really been a pretty inoffensive team, and I think they're finally capitalising on that with their merch, because I feel like a lot of neutral supporters will be willing to wear a Gold Coast jumper as opposed to like a Hawthorn jumper or a Geelong jumper or a Brisbane jumper or whatever. So good on them.
Yeah. I want to go back a bit because I think you and I might have had a bit of a debate around Damien Hardwick's comments last year when he's like, we just got to grow the fuck up. And I think I pushed back on that a little bit and said, the tough talk, no good. I'm going to put my hand up right now and say, yet again, I was wrong. I think the attitude of the Suns has evolved.
Totally.
The edge is here.
Yeah. It was that was the exact same thought I had coming out of that game. They've been nice for too long. They've been a pushover for too long. It was a rhetoric that's been spoken about in the media all week. They're a team that has been nice for too long, and now they're a pushover. Even when you look on the trade table, the Jack Bowes deal where they had to give up Bowes and a first-round pick for a third or whatever it was, they traded pick 2 for Lockie Weller because he was the only player that wanted to play for them. They've been a pushover, and finally a player from their team has shown a bit of aggressiveness and toughness and, for a lack of a better phrase, and pardon my very rude French, a bit of CUNT. It's showing a bit of that, and it's all good showing that when you can't back it up, but they got the win as well, which makes that even better for them because they showed it and they backed it up. Yeah.
Look, it's a long season still, so the attitude has to sort of stick around, but yeah, I'm watching a hardened version of the Suns at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the Suns and the Crows face off again, because I don't think Mac Andrew is too popular in the state where all the clubs will be visiting from tomorrow. So yeah, that's going to be interesting, and we might start to see a little bit of a rivalry form. Maybe not like a historic rivalry, but a rivalry akin to maybe what the Dogs and the Giants had, or maybe Sydney and West Coast in the mid-2000s, that spawned out of one incident or spawns out of one game and is carried over for 2, 3, 4, 5 others. So it'll be good for the league.
It starts with that game, and then I think you need maybe 2 or 3 more vicious. I think there's actually a few rivalries that are brewing because of some feeling, and we'll touch on Port Adelaide and Hawthorn soon. Yeah. But I'm with you on that. So, and what about your North boys? Like the big win against Melbourne, and everyone's up and about. And by the way, I love the win against Melbourne. I thought it was awesome. It was good to see that reaction from the North fans, and I know what it's like to be losing for so long, and then finally beat what is perceived to be a good team. North back on track. They're gonna turn it around, or what's the?
Firstly, let's stop with the my boys thing. Okay.
What do you mean? North, absolutely. Chom, my boy Chom. Like, what do you mean?
No. My boy Chom. Full stop. End of sentence. End of paragraph.
You no longer claim North Melbourne?
No, gone. I never claimed them from the beginning.
I don't know, chat. I reckon.
We can move on from this conversation pretty swiftly, I feel. Look, North, you can see that they're trying to just play the way that they're going to play, and if it works for them, it works for them. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I think that consistency will come over time. So, they had a go and they got belted, but they're not going to stop having a go, I don't think.
Yep. I will be tipping the Gold Coast Suns.
I will be as well. Can I just quickly add before we move on? I feel like I can assume that we're both you're not going to gather round. I can safely assume that. I
am not going to gather round.
Right. I am not either. However, my point, if you were going to gather round, I feel like a game up in the Barossa would be right up your alley.
Why?
Just the vineyards, the wine, the cool, calm, relaxed atmosphere, watching a bit of nice footy. I feel like that's just really your vibe.
You don't know me.
No, I think I do.
You don't know me.
I do.
You don't know me. Not my vibe. I don't mind a winery. I don't mind a winery, as in you go on a date, like you spend a day with like a partner there, like
go on dates, this bloke.
Well, but yeah, well, when I hear Barossa Park, I just think of the Carlton in business piss up the Penfolds, and just makes me, again, I've mentioned Carlton and I get blood pressure rises.
I think it's a front. I think you'd be on the first bus to the Barossa, sipping
Then
a
why
red.
aren't then why aren't I going?
I don't know, because you're not going.
Because I don't want to go.
You don't want to go to gather round.
No, I don't want to go to Barossa Park. I don't want to go to a winery. I want to watch Carlton win a game of football. That's all I want.
Yeah, whatever. It's a front.
I tell you, I don't love interstate because, I mean, the studios here, fan cams, the setup it's just great. If I'm interstate, then I'm in a hotel, which is fine, or whatever, wherever I am, and everything's run through the laptop. The quality of the fan cams isn't the same. It's a bit choppy, and if it's a final, different story. But generally, I don't love interstate.
He's a businessman, this bloke. I'm got very much FOMO that I'm not going to gather around, by the way. Mad.
Yeah, but you like the hill, and drinking on the hill, and
I've done a full 180. 2 years ago, I sat on this channel and was very dismissive of the concept. However, last year I went and I indulged in some beverages for 4 days in a row whilst watching footy with my friends, and I don't think you could get anything better. And now I've changed my tune, so I've got FOMO that I'm not going.
Fair. Well, it's that time of the show, Ari. And you know what time it is?
Bedtime.
Carlton, West Coast, Saturday, 12th of April, 1:20 p.m. Adelaide Oval. Oh, by the way, are you on the Blue Abroad email list?
Yeah. So the game's not on Sunday. It's not on March. It's not being played on the moon. It's not on anything like that.
I had a nightmare yesterday. An absolute mare.
I was in the gym chuckling to myself.
Yeah. So if you're not aware, you'll see in the live chat pinned to the top is this month's giveaway. It's the can you see it? It's the signed Juddy framed poster. And I sent an email out to everyone to let everyone know you can buy raffle tickets for it. And then I realized that I'd put the wrong date. I had written the 13th or Sunday. So I typed out the email again, sent it again, and then I realized it still said March. So I typed the email again and then had to change it to April. So I apologize for sending 3 emails to those of you who received it. It's just one of those days. What can I say, Ari?
Yeah, it happens. Very funny, though.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yep. It was funny.
Yeah. So the last time the Carlton Football Club were 0-4, we sacked our coach 7 games later.
Was that 2019?
2019. Good like that. I hazard to guess that shall we go 0-5, the current boss might not see 10 more games. We'll only have to wait and see if that reality becomes, or if that becomes reality, I should say. We can't lose, can we?
I think it would almost be harder to lose than to win.
That West Coast team that played last week and got dismantled by the Giants, who are a good side, is really one of those teams where, like you said, it's borderline harder to lose. Because I don't know about their inclusions. I know they had a couple of players who are on the injury kind of table, Matt always being one of them. God forbid God help us that we live in a reality where he kicks his one and only goal for the game to put him up by 16 points with 2 minutes to go and starts tugging the jumper. So he might not play, which is good. Their team's not good at all. Like at all.
Yeah. But neither are we.
But so we're not. However, we have obviously Harry's apparently put himself up for selection, which is great. And we're not obviously. I'm not putting any expectations on his performance because I think it will take a couple of weeks regardless. but we've got 2 common medalists. We've got the best fullback in the game. We've got a 2-time Brownlow medalist. We've got the best ruckman in the game. Sheer quality of footballer, like, has to get them over the line. Like, because, has to.
I think the message is easy to sell if you're Andrew McWalter this week.
They're flaky.
The message is so easy. Boys, this could be the greatest win of our season today.
Yeah.
Like that whole rhetoric.
Yeah.
They're fractured. They're this, they're that. They'll drop their heads. I just think it's an easy message, and that's the tricky part about the Blues. It's like it's similar to Richmond. It's like beyond expectation. It's like you're just penciling it in. Like this has to be a win. And so I mean, you mentioned there Harry's flown to Adelaide with the team, so that's a positive sign. It seems like he's going to play. He's going to put his hand up and play. But you did touch on something there, like no expectation on him. I mean, that's a tricky one. Like it's a really tricky one. Like there has to be expectation on everyone, and I think this is just a really sensitive and interesting topic to be covering, because I said this in my preview. Like on the one hand, like I wish Harry was strong enough to not have gone through this. I wish he had already been given the tools to deal with this sort of stuff. And the reality is he's not, and he's put his hand up and he struggled. And it's like, so does that mean we just don't put expectation on him for the rest of the year? Like, because I also understand putting too much on him is part of the issue. And he's, I just find it a struggle to navigate through.
No, it's a very delicate conversation, and I don't envy you having to speak about it probably every day on a public platform. And I think you carry yourself very well during the conversations, may I add. But I think I'll probably do take back what I said about them being no expectations, because just like when you're physically injured, if there is a personal reason for you not, or if there's a personal reason for you to be in doubt or to not play, once you cross that white line, you're there, you're playing. In the same way that if it's a calf strain, as soon as you cross that white line, you're there. If it's any other thing, as soon as you cross that white line, you're there. And I think maybe from a fan's perspective, granted, how much can we really do? It's about just being as positive, and I think the club will be as well, about being as positive with him as possible. I think that's very important.
Do you think being in Adelaide, do you think it being gathered around is a positive? Because I think it's a football story. Now, I'd like to guess that no matter who's at that stadium on Saturday, all footy fans will get around Harry, Carlton and non-Carlton supporters.
You'd hope. And I do think it's that. And I think we also have to commend him for. I think you have to commend him for being strong enough to put his hand up and be like, I'm not right, and to work through that. And then also strong enough to put his hand up and being like, I'm back, because it's all well and good being like, saying like, he gets paid however much money, but if he's one thing that he does not want to do is play AFL football for whatever reason, it's very strong of him to be like, I'm good, and I'm good now. I can do it. Like that in itself is quite strong. I don't care how much you get paid. If it's the last thing you want to do and you put your hand up to do it.
Is it an unfair thought or comment to say, why did we give him a 7-year deal? Is that insensitive of me to think that way?
I don't know. I don't think I can give you an answer.
Because I don't think this is the first time. This is not the first time it's happened.
My heart says that it is an insensitive comment to make. That's what my heart says.
Yeah.
Probably because I have a little bit more bias to someone going through that a little bit more. However, my head counters that by saying, maybe not necessarily from a fan, but if a fan is thinking from the perspective of the club, it's a business. Like the giving someone a contract is a business negotiation. You give them a contract so they can play for you. If that's a one-way thing, regardless of the reason, it's the same way that we got rid of all the injury-prone players.
That's fair.
So that's probably why I question.
That's
a very tricky thought, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess giving a long-term deal shows support, shows security, which may alleviate any fear of,
Not having a
you know,
job.
am I going to? Yeah, you know, and I don't bring up that thought as a statement, but I mean, I want to explore thoughts. You know, nothing's finite. It's, you know, part of me says this is awesome, and this is this is going to be the making of Harry, and you know he's gone through whatever he's gone through this so far in 2025, and he's going to come out the other end and he'll be stronger for it. And then the other part of me, if I'm honest, thinks this has, you know, just get through to the end of the season, and then, you know, maybe get out of the football bubble in Melbourne, and, you know, go to Sydney or Brisbane, one of those type of environments. So like I don't know where it goes either way. I obviously hope Harry, this is the line in the sand moment, and, you know, from now on Harry is, you know, going to triumph through this, but I don't know what happens. And I guess we don't need to know what happens. It's round 5.
No, and I also think there's a kind of train of thought where there's like a watershed moment sort of thing. I don't even know if that's the right phrase, where you can live in this period of grey, and then eventually it gets too bad where you go into the mud, and then only from the mud you can then propel yourself back to the clear water. I think it's very hard to get yourself through to the clear water when you're sitting in this period of, it's not horrendous, but it's not that great either. So it's just middling. Whereas if it becomes horrendous in whatever circumstance, it's easier to draw a line in the sand and then bang, you're off again. Yeah. You're off and go.
Look, end of the day, it is support. It's getting behind Harry. But I don't think we should be shying away from conversations. I don't think we should be shying away from conversations. This is an important learning experience for everyone, even those who are not involved. I think even those who were spreading rumors around him breaking up with his girlfriend, like, that's incorrect. It didn't happen. And how that snowballed into something that it wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
LS, performance anxiety. Carlton isn't the club for you. 7 years, 800K for a bloke who doesn't want to play. Don't tell me his teammates aren't spewing, given we're 0-4 and they're copying the brunt of it. I mean, I take your point. I really do. There's just a bit more to it, and it's just the reality. There's just more to it. Not saying that what you're saying isn't valid, but I think there's more to the puzzle here.
Yeah. I totally agree with what you just said. Not to attack anyone, but I think that it's interesting when people be like, I'm sure his teammates are spewing that he's not playing and that they're 0-4, but then they're also the same people saying that we rely on too few individuals. Just because one individual's out doesn't mean that we all of a sudden are a bad team. We'd be a bad team right now with or without Harry in, because we're a team. We don't rely on individuals, or we shouldn't. So let's not blame individuals, or let's not point the proverbial finger at an individual for being 0-4.
Well, let's just see how it plays out. Matt Carroll's going to play. He's going to debut.
Yeah, that's good news.
So there's positive news. Yeah, excited for the guy. Excited for the young fella. Got his opportunity. I hope they play him in the position that he's been playing in the AFL, in the VFL.
Totally agree. I went to that game on Saturday night, and he was one of very, very few shining lights. So yeah, I thought his ball use at a day 50 was quite good. His ability to float up and to get some intercept possessions is important as well. So. Yeah.
All right. So are we tipping Carlton? I mean, like, that's what's happening, right? Are we allowed to say that we expect a win this week without, you know, tell me now if it's too much to expect a win this week. Just tell me. Just be honest.
I tipped Carlton. I haven't tipped Carlton for the last 3 weeks, so against Hawthorn, the Dogs, and the Pies. But I will be tipping Carlton this week. I just do not see a world in which, I just do not see a world in which this goes any other way. I truly don't. In my heart of hearts, I think we have played too well. Like the Richmond performance was our worst performance of the season. We have played significantly better across the next 3 games for the most part. If we play like that, put it this way: if we play like we played against the Dogs, we win this game by 8 goals. Absolutely, we do.
Do I need to spend some time mentally preparing for a loss? Just
if you want.
I think
if you want.
Do you remember West Coast 2021 at the SCG?
The waffle team.
The waffle team?
What's your gut? What is your gut telling you right now?
My gut is telling me that we are so fractured.
Don't say this.
But we are still good enough to just get through on talent.
Is it going to be scrappy? Is it going to be 7 points, 8 points?
I think, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not. You asked me for my honest opinion.
Yeah.
And you know I love optimism. I'm always like, we're just going to beat them by 10 goals? I don't think the group has shown anything this season, now that we've had 4 games of sample size, to suggest that. And, and I just think West Coast will be up for the task. They were disgusting last week.
Correct.
And I think I think there'll be a period in the game where they lift their intensity, and
we've got to go with them.
Yeah. So that's why I'm just focusing on the win. Like, should be 10 goals if we're talking about a team that wants to challenge at the end of the year in the way that we were talking about that team only a month ago. It feels like I've needed to rearrange my expectations yet again because the team's not performing well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment anymore.
Early fan cams is like a blessing because I don't have to stay up until 2 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. All I will say is that the heavy criticism on the Eagles last week from the majority of the supporters, which I saw, was their senior players. So expect a performance lift from your Duggins, your Kellys, your Allens if he plays.
Yeah, well, they're going to get Jake Waterman back. So, yeah. Anyway, Carlton to win, inshallah.
And surely.
Then we move on to a 10-goal thumping of a piss weak Eagles team will annoy me as much as a lot. I don't know. I just think I think the most important thing right now is vibes.
I want 10-goal win. Charlie takes Mark the year. Cripper has 40. I just want everyone to be. Yeah, that's what I want. Just vibes.
We need some good vibes to get something going. Anyway, one more question on the Blues. Have you given up on the season, or do you think they can get out of this hole like they got out of the hole last time?
Well, only 7 teams in the history of the competition have made finals from 0-4.
We have the ability to be one of them.
One of them was the Hawks last year, who were totally pox in their first 4 games.
Yep.
And another one was Sydney in 2017, who came off a grand final appearance. And then you would have to go back to late, so like 70s that time. The talent is there. We won how many games last year?
13, maybe?
No, it was more than 13. Actually, no, it was because when we were like 11-4 and we won 2 games first year. So we won 13 games last year. I've gone through the fixture. this might be some insane copium. I've got us winning 10 games as things stand.
Okay.
And that's as things stand now. If we start winning, that 10 could turn into 14 quite quickly, I think.
Yep. All right. Please win, man. Like, please. Let's move on, and we'll probably come back to Carlton at the end of the show. Western Bulldogs, Brisbane. I don't think we're going to be watching much of this game, or I won't anyway, because the fan cams will be on. But pretty good matchup.
Yeah, shame it's played on a soccer ground.
Don't you think we should be playing at Norwood Oval and this game should be played at Adelaide Oval?
Mate, look at the game that's after this. That should be played. That should be played in the Gawler. That's a bit bizarre fixture. I'm sure the AFL are thrilled with isn't it 16th versus 18th and like 13th versus 17th or something like that. For the two main games in Adelaide Oval, which is good stuff on your deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much thoughts on this game, to be honest. The Dogs are good without their two best players, probably. Sam Darcy's a star. And Brisbane are on a premiership kick on as opposed to that premiership hangover, so good on them.
Yeah. Who are you tipping?
The Brisbane Lions.
Same. Melbourne, Essendon.
What a disgusting game of football on a Saturday night. Like the D's conceded, I think, what's the stat that I've written down here? The 12th highest marks in a game of AFL football ever with 165. They are the definition of just sit back. 22 men behind the ball. He tried hit on the counter attack, and they didn't even do that. And Essendon a pox as well. At least he's going to be. God, I think I'll be at the pub for this one.
How do you tip this game? I think the Bombers. I think.
Nah, I've tipped the D's.
Tip the D's.
Yeah, I just feel like their senior players need to respond. They need to respond.
Okay, well, they lose Lever.
Who's
another loss. At the moment, I'm with the Bombers.
Interesting. Did you see Petrarca at the end of the game?
I did. That's a man that is regretting staying there.
Yeah, probably.
Could have been a blue. Could have been a blue. Oh, should have pulled the trigger.
Could have been a pie as well.
Could have been a pie.
Could have been a pie. Mitch Cleary just reported that Tim Kelly's had to be dropped. Well, there you go. Statement made, according to Damien. And
wow, standards.
He's a trusted source. So there you go. That's huge. That's pretty. That's pretty huge. So where were we? These Bombers. Yeah. I don't really think any of these teams are going to be making finals. Obviously the Bombers are coming off the back of their good win 2 weeks ago against your boys, the Port Adelaide Power. So can they parlay that? Maybe. Who knows? But who really cares? This is like prime time. This is prime time. If you were on the hill, the game would be this way. The game's this way, and you're this way. Talking to you, mate.
Yeah.
Quadruple parked. Just God, take.
Are you a quadruple parker? Well, you have like 2 cans and 2 cans.
No. So at Adelaide Oval, we can buy 4 Stone and Woods at the one time. So I was obviously doing that.
Anyway,
to save me from the Lions, of course, because I didn't want to miss the football.
Mate, you do you. Then we're going to get to Sunday. I'm on upset watch here. Richmond Fremantle. Do you have the guts to tip Richmond?
No, absolutely not. But I do like it. I do like the theory. I do like the thought process. Very much so.
I reckon. You have put here in the thing about Noah Bolter. Curious. I don't know if those of you watching right now watch Footy Abroad. We did have this conversation last night. What do you think, Ari? So there's a 2-week gap between Bolter's. It was a 2-week window where we have to wait for Bolter to be sentenced. He has pled guilty. So you've got here, should they pick him, or should he play? Like, what do you think?
I wouldn't pick him. However, I do think that the decision ultimately should be up to the AFL, because I think for something of this magnitude, like I don't think I'm out of my right to say that he could be in prison. That's what the reports have been saying recently.
Very much a chance. Very much a chance.
So, for something of that magnitude, I think it should be in the AFL's hands as opposed to Richmond or the club. And I think the AFL would take the stance to see it through, and then we see what happens. But yeah, I wouldn't play.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. You tipping Freo?
Is this on the skinny ground? No, it's in
This is
Barossa
at
Park.
Barossa Park.
Yeah,
your spot.
Your favourite place. You can sip a vino with some shades and chafing a Ralph Lauren polo top. Yeah.
I don't own a Ralph Lauren polo top.
You're so full of it. Jesus.
What is the incentive for me to lie about that? Tell me.
To come across more like down to earth and rough from the streets.
I name something you want me to like swear on. I'll swear on it. I do not own a Ralph Lauren polo shirt. I don't.
Interesting.
No.
You'd feel it out well, put it that way.
Oh.
No, it's a compliment.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Yeah, you've got like only built people can wear polo tops, and that's something that's coming from someone who isn't built and who can't wear polo tops.
Yeah, not for
only
me.
Like, yeah, okay, that's fine. You're missing out.
I'm from the streets. I'm from the streets, man. I'm from Reservoir.
Oh, the hard knock life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you tipping pro?
I'm gonna tip. So this is where I go wrong in tipping because I get excited and I live in La La Land. I'll tip for Richmond.
Good on you. Great. I'll be smart and tip pro.
All right. Next up, St Kilda GWS Norwood Oval.
Can we address the soccer pitch, by the way? You skipped over that.
Sure. What do we need to address?
The fact that it's a soccer pitch.
Barossa Park is a soccer pitch.
No, Norwood.
Okay, please.
It's 4 meters narrower than GMHBA.
Wow.
The boundary line's a straight line. Have you not noticed this?
I have noticed this. I remember St Kilda played maybe Richmond last year there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right, is it?
I mean, it is what it is.
That can't be AFL standard. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So you think they shouldn't play games there?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. But I mean, every ground has a different dimension to it, doesn't it?
I totally agree. But when the boundary line is fundamentally changing the shape of the oval in which the game is played on, I think that's a concern. Thanks for your thrilling insight.
I take your point. I don't really feel strongly either way. I mean, I think there is, you're playing every game in Adelaide this week, and there are going to be grounds that just don't marry up to the confines of the MCG and whatever. But I don't think that we shouldn't be playing games there.
Fair enough. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's going to be a narrow wing for both teams. So, best team to adjust. Well, okay. Who does this
it's been raining.
affect more? It's been raining. Who does it affect more, the Saints or the Giants?
I think it helps the Saints a little bit more. I think it restricts ball movement because it's narrower, so more congested, and that's kind of the Giants' MO. So, I think it helps Saints. Obviously, both sides are 1-0 at Norwood Oval. Fun fact. So, yeah.
I'm going to tip the Saints.
God. Okay. Enjoy that.
You're going to tip the Giants?
They're my boys. Can we get on this? And can I just quickly say, shout out Darcy Jones. As someone who's been vertically challenged for the majority of their existence, it's finally to see some representation for my fellow brethren of the vertically challenged people performing on the big stage, national stage, and doing well. Shout out Darcy Jones.
Shout out Darcy Jones. I'm a big fan.
Darcy Jones. Massive fan. Yeah. He's my guy. He's my boy.
So the North are not your boys. The Giants are your
Yes.
boys. You want to make that
Yes.
clear?
Crystal clear. Yes.
Crystal clear. Okay.
Crystal clear. Might get it tattooed on my forehead.
Okay. Point taken. You're a Giant, not a Roo. And so what? Chom is not your boy. It's Sam
No.
Taylor now, or
Chom
Darcy
is
Jones is your
different. Chom is the boy.
Okay.
Chom will always be the boy.
Yeah.
Different to the team that he plays for.
Okay. Okay.
If Chom came to Carlton, forget about it. I'd be running fan pages, the works.
Okay. Fair enough.
I
then,
have video proof that he says that he likes me. So I just want to get that out there.
I believe you, mate. I believe you. And then the final game of the week is I had to triple check this last night. 7:20 p.m. on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide, my boys, against the Hawthorn Footy Club. The rematch, the grudge match, the revenge match. Spicy rivalry. Don't know if it's a rivalry yet, Ari. I know that you and I have had a very strong conversation about rivalries and is it a rivalry yet or is it not? Is this a rivalry or is it about to become a rivalry?
It's simmering away. There's a close game with the Ginnivan high tackle free kick to win the Hawks the game after the siren, and it's fully fledged. Yeah, that would set that ground alight.
Yeah.
So yeah, on a Sunday night, watching at home, perfect. So yeah, that's going to be great fun to watch.
You like the concept of Sunday 7:20 p.m.?
No, not generally, but when it's this game.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I mean, I guess it would be different if we have a Sunday night game. We play the D's. The Bombers maybe Sunday night.
Yeah,
but that's one weekend, so maybe different.
I just think it's like it makes no sense for going to like school night and commutes and stuff. You get home at like what time do you get home after the footy on a Thursday? What, like 11? Imagine doing that on a Sunday night. Yeah, ugly.
True. So the Hawks lose Will Day for 3 to 4 months.
That's huge.
Navicular, right?
Yeah, stress fracture, ugly injury. Ugly. It's what kept him out for the first portion of the year last year as well. So it's ugly because he had a great start to the year. And he's really there. I wouldn't say he's their nucleus. I don't really think I would have one.
No, really? I would. Yeah, I would. I think he's that important.
I would say it's Newcomb.
I think Newcomb thrives when Day's in the team.
Yeah, they're a good 1-2 punch. They're a great 1-2 punch.
Yeah, not that they rely on one player for the system because they're obviously well coached. I just think Will Day frees them up a lot at stoppage. Maybe I'm overrating Will Day. I'm tipping Port, by the way.
I can't remember who I tipped. I think I tipped Port as well.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like
it's perfect.
Ken is gonna. If you want any coach to coach your team in a game like this, I think Ken is probably top 3.
Yeah,
because he just knows, unless it's a prelim, then he doesn't know. But he just kind of gets it.
That is venom from you.
Why?
That is a venomous comment.
Yeah, mate. Give the gab. Yeah, so I feel like Ken's gonna do it. Even though I don't think Porter all that flash. I think they're gonna do
it. Okay. And that's Gather Round. That's coming up. Any other themes, thoughts, issues, chat, anything that's coming up throughout the week that we haven't touched on? We did forget to mention that Adam Sard plays his 200th game. Woof.
Thoughts on the woof still? Thoughts on still woofing?
Well, you know what? If you listen to the woof die out in the crowd, it actually paints a picture of the engagement between fan and Carlton at the moment. I think the energy of the woof tells a story.
No, I totally agree.
I love it. Love the woof. I love when it's there. I love when I see Adam Sard sprinting with the ball in his hand and bouncing. I wasn't aware, but he now leads the league in bounces again after the first 4 games.
Finally.
Yeah. 16.
Nice. Great. Thoughts on the Freddie Mercury?
Well, I'm glad we didn't hear it last week. I'm glad we're not going to hear it this week, are we?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works.
Am I just being salty because we're losing, or is the Freddie Mercury thing actually good?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. When we beat Geelong pre-game of that game, do you remember doing it or anyone else doing it?
No.
Well, I think that's the end of the question.
I don't want to look too far ahead, but you know what's coming up, right? Well, okay. Firstly, we haven't touched on this. There's a new bobblehead in town.
Yes, there is.
Not this one.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I swear you showed this on Monday.
No, not this one. There is an Adam Sard bobblehead that has become available this week. So there's that.
The optics of that is very, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do something. Hang on, you're right. The bobblehead.
Is this like a curse sort of thing? Because didn't the bobblehead come out Essendon 2020?
Simo's last game, bobblehead.
So nothing happened from then onwards. Okay, yeah.
Essendon game, Charlie bobblehead.
We turned it around.
No, we lost that day. We lost that night. That was 2023.
Yeah, after it.
Okay. Sard and Ange bobblehead last year, Hawthorn.
Okay, well, that didn't. I mean, we won the next game after that, but didn't really turn anything around.
Okay, but for that game,
I'm looking ahead. Just God, was there a Cooper bobblehead for the Doggies game last year?
there was a Cripps bobblehead for his Wait, there was, right? Chat, was there a Cripps bobblehead for his 200th?
I don't know. I'm not in the bobblehead sort of realm. I
think there was, because I think Andy, who comes on the game day streams and sometimes on fan cams, I think he has a Cripps bobblehead. I could be wrong. Chat, please correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So bobblehead week. Look, you would think that we would be favourites. We are against West Coast, and then next week against North, and then that Geelong game after that is a Sunday. And you know what do you know what that is? That Sunday game?
The day before my birthday, but carry on.
Yes, that day is the 95 celebration reunion commemoration.
Oh my.
So they're going to wheel them out again. They're going to wheel out the legends again one more time.
I can't do it.
By the way, I don't mean disrespect to any of you who were there for 95. I'm happy that you got to, celebrate. I just like to have a bit of a laugh about it as well. Like the whole wheel them out thing. It's not personal. I'm happy that people got to experience that day. My mum got to experience that day. I'm happy. It's just funny.
half my shtick is 95, so I think I'm in a good position.
They're gonna wheel them out. Sticks, Diesel, Brad Pierce, all of them. Wheel them out one more time.
Look, I get it. I get it. Celebrate the history. I get it, but I just the optics of it all.
Yeah. Again, I don't mean offense to those who were there. Do other clubs do this for their premiership celebrations? Or am I just not looking for it?
Probably the latter, but I would also say that when they do it, it's more just the 2015 Hawthorn team's having a reunion. Here they are in the box drinking some beers. And that's all they do. As opposed to just get them out. Come on, boys. Come on through. Have them seen their starting positions before the game. Do all that.
Okay, question. Do you think we would do the 40-year reunion commemorative match in 10 years?
Depends if we've won one since or not.
Okay, say we haven't won one since.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Do you think we would do the 50-year reunion?
Yes. Yes.
60?
No.
Okay. So 50 years you think is the limit?
Yeah. Half a century.
What
50
happens?
years ago? What was 50 years ago from now? What? 2020.
What?
So 74. Did we do one for the? Wait, what am I thinking of?
The
Did we do one for the
1970
70
grand
flag
final?
in 2020?
Sorry?
Did we do one for the 70 flag in 2020? Probably not. Hey, because COVID.
Well, that was COVID. 2020. That was lockdowns. I don't think we really could have done. They may have had plans for it. I'm not sure. Do you think we'll just keep doing them until there's no more of the living premiership players around?
It's awfully bleak.
No, genuine question.
Well, I don't think the. I don't think if they're alive or not means anything.
No, they'll have like at that point it'll have like what's the word? Holographs. Is it holograms?
Holograms.
Holograms of the whole team walking out onto the ground.
St Kilda will celebrate their flag anniversaries. Anniversary, I guess.
Do they?
Man, it's the only thing they've done.
Do they celebrate the flag anniversary though? Like, when is it?
Yeah. Hold on. Why is it out on April 27th? What commemorative date is that?
No, it's just the 30 years, and we're playing against Geelong, and it's just
Yeah, I know, but like, yes. St Kilda are still celebrating. Well, they won their flag in what, 64? No, 58. I don't know. I guess.
So, yeah.
There you go. St Kilda Football Club has launched the first major piece of celebration in the next 150. I think that's maybe for the club, to be fair, though.
Right. Blue Bagger, we love you too.
Thanks.
We love you too. I think we did well moving into this format.
Far more better if we were good.
So much better.
So much better. Is there a world where we just win the next, like, 11 games in a row?
Is there a world where we go on a run? There is.
Brisbane were 2-5.
Yeah, but you can't compare the two.
Yeah, I'm aware.
But you do it anyway.
It's copium, bro. Let me live.
Okay. Fair. No, fair enough. Is there a reality where the Blues go on a run? Yes, there is.
God.
There is. It's not impossible. It's highly unlikely. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
But when you see efforts of like the half efforts that we're seeing and the not hard football that we're seeing and the backing out of contests, that's where the cause for concern comes. Like, they're not playing with a spirit at the moment.
Doesn't look like it. No, maybe they need Ed Kerno's farm again.
You know what the crazy thing is, man? They had it. It was like in their hands, man. They dropped it. They dropped it.
It was, I tell you, it was 6 points clear in second with 8 games to go.
Oh, what'd they do? They fucking had it in their hands, man. It was right here. It was tangible. They had it, man. They literally had it in their hands, in their palms, and they just like a medicine ball. You know when you do like a hit class and like you do like ball slams?
Yeah, I'm an avid hit classer. Yeah.
They just threw it away. How?
Yeah, they were 6 points clear in second with 8 games to go, or whatever it was. And in that same week in which we lost to the Giants, the Swans lost to St Kilda and started their run of form where they slipped up.
Can I play something? I want to play a bit. I want to play a bit from the fan cams from that night.
This what night? Giants game?
No.
Geelong.
From the Geelong game, just so like we can have something to look at, like how good it could have been or how good it maybe was. Oh man. Oh, this might hurt. I don't know.
Well, I have a memory of Paolo saying we're a good football team.
Excited. False dawns, false prophets, things like that. But fuck me. Like, come on. I said it with you today. Sick of hearing this shit. Like, how do we stop Cameron? How do we stop this guy? We're the real deal, bro. I've just seen Chris Scott have an emotional breakdown. You know what I mean? Like, we got smacked around the ball. You bet your ass you did. You went in there with blitzers, fucking thinking you could come up against we're proper team. And playing Friday now, this is huge when you've got it because you've got to lay down the marker. Sydney, they're the talk of the town. They've got to look at that. Go, fucking hell. They were never threatened. We were threatened. They weren't. We've got to go now and just keep building. But fuck me, that everyone always says, oh, we don't have the killer instinct. Oh, I've never watched a game of football other than Carlton. There's peaks and troughs. They rode that peaks and trough. And you know what? That fourth quarter, we learned something huge. Terry, we're holding it, bro. It's tangible. It's fucking tangible. You can sniff it.
That actually made me happy for a moment.
I can't believe we're back here talking about the Geelong game again.
Well, that's like the happiest I've been since the practice match against the Giants this year.
God, how good do we look then?
Wow, that was like a pressure release of happiness just for a split second, and I had to realize that it wasn't real. We fucked it, didn't we?
In a world where we do what we need to do this week and win, and parlay that into a win next week, we're 2-4. Heading into a game against Geelong, who are probably going to be sitting on a positive win-loss record and probably sitting in the 8. Probably. If we get the job done there, I know I'm looking 3 weeks ahead and we're 3-4, then things start to turn, don't they?
Yeah, but then it's just that 2021 vibe of like, oh, you get back even, and then that bad loss. And then it's just like, oh, but a good win. Oh, but a bad loss. It's like, oh,
it's not
21.
It's not 21. It's not 21.
It's not 21?
Bro, look at the team we're playing in 21.
Look at the team we're playing now.
Do you want to know who kicked our first 3 goals of the year in 2021? Levi Casbolt, Lockie O'Brien, and Paddy Dow.
Okay.
This team is not 2021.
I think I want to go watch those fan cams again just to feel good about myself. Oh, oh man! Like, if anyone wants to do that after this, here. Wow. I just want to be happy, man. I just want to smile. That's all I want to do. I want to smile. But I also understand that pain is part of the process.
How much pain, though? No one classified that part. No one kind of sat there and thought, well, no one sat there and really detailed. Is that in the fine print, how much pain you're meant to go through?
Is this enough pain for a premiership, what we've experienced so far?
Probably not.
Really? Jay, you're right. I'm sorry. Stop living in the... You are right.
Yeah.
You are. Blue eyes, you are right.
95 team again.
You're right. All right. I stand corrected. Hand up. I'm sorry.
No review mirrors, mate.
You're right. I'll delete the comment. I'm going to ban... No.
Unlist the video. Unlist every video from here from before.
You're right. You're right. Look forward. Look ahead. Don't look back. Oh. All right.
Where will you be watching the game on Saturday?
Home. My housemate's away for a few weeks, so I'm home alone in the silence with my own thoughts, which is a scary proposition when Carlton are bad.
Can you vlog the game and upload it to like TikTok?
Mate, you'll never see me vlog a game. Actually, I used to do kind of vlogging, like quarter by quarter videos, 2019, when I was like living away. But like, no, that's my sanctuary. It's my not happy, but it's my time. It's important.
Were you about to say happy place?
Yeah.
Yeah, no longer happy anymore.
Where are you watching it from?
I've actually got a first birthday, So, my first cousin's little baby is turning 1.
Oh,
which I'm sure she's thrilled about. I'm not sure she knows yet. I'm sure she's thrilled at the prospect of me and my dad huddling around the TV watching that game. Oh, she's going to be thrilled.
Essendon 2023 fan cams is elite. Show some of that. Whoa. What's worse, now or then?
I saw a comment. Did it ever get this bad in 2023? Well, I think 2023 was the rhetoric was scoreboard nourishment.
Mm.
Now it feels like we actually are getting scoreboard nourishment, just not enough of it.
Well, we kicked 6 goals, 10.
In the first half of games, we are the number 1 team in the comp for points per inside 50.
Mm.
In the second half, we're like 16th.
Well, let's just hope for the great reset.
Is this going to be 2007 Geelong? Will you rock up?
Did they start like this?
No, they didn't start like this. I think they started 2-2 something.
Okay.
But then they beat Richmond by 160 points and lost 1 game for the rest of the year. Can we do that?
Can we do it?
Probably not. Actually, I want to see what their actual record was.
Geelong 2007.
Yeah, I can guarantee I get this up quicker than you. They were 2-3 after 5 games.
2-3 from 5 games. Okay.
So hey, really, we'd be 2-4, but like, yeah, same thing.
Whatever. It's time to go.
Okay.
Ladies and gents, great to have you here. See you tomorrow for the team's show. And also just a reminder, the winner of the Chris Judd framed memorabilia will be drawn at the end of the fan cams on Saturday. So if you're a member, you're in. You have 1 entry already. If you would like to purchase more entries, go for it. Otherwise, Ari, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Back
Go
live.
Blues. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.